Good, ooh, I'm sorry. Good Sunday morning, everybody. It is June 14th. I now have everything in order. Hey. Um, some of you might have seen my video last night where I talked about a coin collection I had that was sitting in one of my desk drawers. It's been a while since I got to it. Another person was talking about how I'm lucky to have this particular desk. It's well, I shouldn't say an heirloom. It's been in the family for about 20 plus years. Mom bought it for herself back in Arizona, but as she became more of a home based medical secretary or medical transcriptionist until she retired, she doesn't need this desk anymore. She's got a bigger, better one. So instead of giving it away, I was like, I could use that. So it's now mine. But anyhow, um, random thought. This thought came in my head this morning just randomly. I was talking to my wife about my my beard bead, and how my beard is growing and whatnot, and how a few people misconceived my hairstyle for pirate. And I went, no, 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 no. Viking. Vikings were the first, not only were they the first group of people to be considered pirates, but if you think about what Vikings did, not only did they were they the first people to the first Europeans. I don't know about any other groups of people. Um, they were the first Europeans and possibly the first people to conquer and cross the sea from Scandinavia to England, and then from Scandinavia to Iceland to Greenland, and then to what is now North America. That in effect, they were also the first groups of people, or first group of people to conquer bits and pieces of various land masses. So if you were to take the air aspect out of the Navy SEALs, they would be considered the first SEALs because they were land and sea. Random thought of the day. um, Anyhow, I have another video that I'm going to put up probably later tonight, if not right after this one, or vice versa. I don't know. About another little collection I had that I found from my days in Arizona, my teens, I guess you'd say. But that will be a separate video. I'm sorry, I keep on looking for something, but I don't know why. My brain's just being weird. But, oi! Oh, sorry. A little bit of a coughing spasm caused me to have a de-winding issue, I guess you'd say. Um, this morning has been a bit of a, I don't want to call it a rush morning because I didn't rush to get out of bed. I took my time. I for some reason this morning I just didn't feel like getting out of bed. I was like feeling like not tired or anything like that, just not like wanting to get up. So when I did finally get up to start my morning routine, as I got up to change my clothes, basically, or put on clothes, TMI, TMI, I know. Um, I got like this head rush, and the first thought that came through my brain was like, and I don't want it to sound derogatory or anything like that. It's just a saying, but my brain was like, "Whoa, Cochise, where do you think you're going? And you a little fast there." So I was just like, "Oh, wow, need to let my brain get some oxygen, get some blood going." But otherwise, it's starting out to be a good day. It's Sunday. I have to work, and usually Sundays are my very few people coming into the store. I can really get down and dirty and really clean my store up. Not saying that we don't do it during the week time, but it's like there are little things that we skip during the week. There are little things that we don't really do a hardcore clean. We just do a quick clean to make it look good, not the way some of us would hope for. But like I said in one of my other vlogs, my manager understands as long as you leave her notes saying why you couldn't get to wherever you couldn't get to. Like the last time I left a note, which was Thursday, I basically said I couldn't get to the beer cave or get everything faced due to the volume of people we had. And of course, if you saw Friday morning's vlog, you heard the whole spiel. Or was it Sunday morning? I can't remember. But anyhow, it was in a previous vlog. But today, hopefully, will be a day that it won't be as busy and I can get everything done and then some. And if you can hear it in my voice, it's getting close to time for my nose spray. But anyhow, Bible verse of the morning. I know a lot of people are starting to like the fact that I'm doing this, which I try to keep to, but sometimes just because of headspace or whatnot, I don't always get to. This morning's little pick-me-up, or inspirational, whatever you want to call it, says, God is sovereign. Scripture repeatedly attributes utter... What? Hold on. Excuse me, because my eyes aren't wanting to focus and my brain is not working properly. Scripture repeatedly attributes utter and absolute control to his hand. Okay, there we go. I got it out. So let's read it, at regular speed. God is sovereign. Scripture repeatedly attributes utter and absolute control in his hand. Thought? Yeah. Scripture does repeatedly point to the fact that he is in control. Some would not rebuke, that's the wrong word. Some would argue that, but you can't. You really cannot argue something as repeated as such fact. Now, we might sit there and think, well, how is God in control of our current situation? Or we can sit there and go, sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. We can sit there and go, what aspect of the situation is God in control? Or, better yet, some of the things I ask myself all the time, why is God allowing this to happen? That's the question we should be asking. Why is this happening? Not who's in control of it, or why, any why. It's like, it's a question of not why, but how come? What's the full purpose of the pandemic? What is the full purpose of the protests and the riots? The only why I can think of, really, and I don't want to jump on this particular bandwagon, so I'm going to be brief about it, but why? The one why that I would ask, why would God let this happen? We can sit there and go, oh, it's China's fault. Oh, it's CDC making up stuff. Oh, it's the government not, jumping on the take precaution. Then there's the people aspect. Why, if a group such as the CDC, who are trained professionals to understand the mechanisms or the causes and effects of such things like COVID, and if the CDC is literally telling the world, not just America, but the world, to wear face masks, to do the social separation of 6 feet, to self quarantine if you don't have reasons for leaving your home. Many countries, in fact, most countries except for maybe the United States, have followed the CDC's recommendations, and most countries no longer have cases of COVID, or the cases of COVID have dissipated so quickly due to the people or the governments of the countries getting the people to do exactly what the CDC recommended. I have been all over Ohio within the last week. I've been living here in Missouri for years. And it stunned and astonished me how many people ignore the CDC recommendations. I have customers who totally and utterly disregard everything because of whatever is going through their brain, and they're up each other's butts waiting in line for me to check them out instead of following the 6 foot distance. I'm at that point where if I hear one more complaint about it, let alone one more case being found in Missouri alone, I won't care if I'm literally will not care if I lose my job, and I will literally tell people they can either do the social separation or get out of my store. They don't want to wear a mask, that's fine and dandy. I have my own. I at least am protecting what I can. Because I'm just at that point where I really, really, really think, and I know it was left to each individual state governor to make the call, which I think was stupid because it's like, you've got the Center for Disease Control telling you what you need to do to prevent as many cases as possible. World, I don't remember the actual numbers, so my numbers might be off. But the last time I looked, we were around 15 million cases worldwide and 1 million cases here in the country, and Missouri had 12 to 14,000 alone in Missouri. Now, my county has only had maybe half a dozen or a dozen cases, 12 to 14 cases in Phelps County alone. And I'm like, y'all don't understand, okay? Globally, we've lost millions. I mean, millions. 14 million thereabouts. And here in America, we've lost maybe 1 million. I'm like, dude, they don't put these numbers out just to scare the crap out of people. It's factors. They put these numbers out to educate the people of how bad the situation is. I understand my aunt. My aunt was like, I'm not going to wear a mask. If it's going to get me, it's going to get me, blah, blah, blah. That's fine and dandy. But what about your children? What about your grandchildren? What about all the people you're visiting? Now, I don't know how many people were at my cousin's graduation party out in the country by a little lake, but only one person, and the only reason why she wore the mask is the fact that she is type 1 diabetic and very, very immune compromised. And I just kind of went, okay, it's a social gathering, I understand, but the thing is, what's to say that one person out of that gathering could have had COVID and could have affected every single one of us, except for that one person who wore the mask. I could be a typhoid Mary. My mom and my wife could be typhoid Marys. Both of them they don't have as bad compromised immune system as this one girl did. But the thing is, we don't know who's got the virus until that person gets rushed to the hospital. or gets extremely sick. And by that time, half a dozen other people could get it. I mean, there's two movies I can think of that make me want to, like, go watch them again just because. But the two movies I'm thinking about is Outbreak and Contagion. Both of them had to do with what could happen if an outbreak did happen. If something like COVID happened in small town America or globally. And you gotta I think to myself, I don't know about you guys, I think to myself, that's happening right now. That's exactly what's happening. Somebody got contaminated by this virus, and it just started spreading like a wildfire. But when the CDC finally figured out what it was and how it was being spread in the whole 9 yards, they started putting out bulletins. They started saying, "Hey, look, this is what it is. This is what we're going to call it, and this is how it spreads, and this is what we can do to prevent the spread." Europe, they follow CDC rules or suggestions. Asia, they followed the CDC. Australia followed CDC. I don't know about Africa. I don't know about South America, but we here in the United States of America, oh, it can't, but it won't kill me. I'm healthy, dude. It's killing children and senior citizens and anybody with a very weak immune system. You might not catch it. You might not fall susceptible to its symptoms and whatnot, but you're carrying it. You don't know you're carrying it, but you could be carrying it. And you're going to go visit grandma? Are you going to visit your brother who just had a newborn baby? The mask isn't to protect you from it. It is there to protect them from you. Anyhow, those of you who are listening to this and are fact finders, and if my facts were off, which they probably might have been because my information is maybe about a week or so old, because I haven't caught up with all my resources, go ahead and put the correct information if you want to into the comment box. That's your choice. In fact, actually, I would love it if you could give me the exact information. That way, I'm a little more up to date than I currently am. But yes, I'm ending this video. Excuse me. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments or information that will catch me up to my current events on what I just talked about, go for it, please. I enjoy people trying to get me up to date or give me information and locations for the information. I'm not going to talk about past videos because I'm already dealing with that. If you're a new subscriber, hit the subscribe button and a bell will pop up and YouTube will let you know when I put in a new video. So until next time, yes, I'm about ready to go get my nose spray for those of you who are about to say, go get your nose spray. But until next time, God bless. Have a good day. Be safe. Be smart. See ya. Bye.